The Manuscript of Survival, Part 344. August 17, 2013. As usual, the heightened activity will bring with it heightened dissonance in many of you. In other words, your bodies will feel even less at ease than normal, and your mind might be racing along with it, trying to give its discordant voice to the choir as well. So this will be a time of much disturbance for many of you, both on the inside, but also on the outside, as you will find this heightened feeling of unease seeping out from many of your fellow men. For your world is seemingly very much off balance now, as the old forces are desperately trying to regain the foothold they have lost. But to no avail, we hasten to add, although this will not stop them from trying to put on the spectacular show in order to try to convince you and even themselves that they are more than mere remnants of their former glory. But again, they will fail in this, but not before they might convince some less enlightened minds that they are still under the influence of the same old powers that they have been for eons. This imbalance may be perceived in so many ways, as you are not the only ones falling under the spell of these heightened energies. You see, these will continue to push and pull at the remaining remnants of the old and inflexible structures still trying to cling on to this planet, but as you all know well by now, their days are indeed numbered, and they will have no choice but to relinquish all of their former positions and leave the field to the forces of the light. And the light has come in full force now, and as such, the results will start to be visible in so many ways. But as we have discussed already, those still trying to maintain status quo are a tenacious bunch indeed, and they will try all their old tricks to keep up the illusion that they are still running the show. Futile of course, but still, it might be more than a few of your fellow men who will fall for this ploy, and so, they will add their angry and frightened voices to the melee. For you will all in some way encounter this fallout from the cleanup operation. Either in the form of hostile words or even actions, or by finding yourself suddenly enmeshed in a confusing array of improbable events where people or places you have previously seen as positive or just neutral suddenly will appear as the opposite. So for some, the advancement of the light will be shown by more visibility of the opposite side, and as such, it can easily be mistaken for a worsening of the conditions. But again we say, do not fall for this old fashion of trying to confuse you by using the actual shift to discourage you. Or to put it another way, the opposition to the light will never admit to their defeat. So they will try to trick anyone willing or simply unaware enough to follow in their footsteps and act accordingly. So whatever you do, do not be tempted to re-engage those forces in the farces they will start to enact. It might be tempting to do so, but it will not do any of you any good. You see, you will just be turning your attention to something that does not merit it. And for the other side, it will not be of any help to them no matter how many foot soldiers they can recruit by casting about them with all of this confusion. So stay focused, and stay away from the hubbub as best as you can. It is only a show put on to conceal the real truth, that the light is indeed advancing at a steady pace, and the shadows are indeed creeping backwards as fast as they can too. The only difference is, that they will never admit to do so, so instead, they keep wasting everybody's time by trying to set off as many alarms as they can to cover their own retreat. But again we say, the wise ones will step back from the fray and breathe calmly, for they will see the advantages to this, and they will not waste any of their precious energy by tossing it on the funeral pyres of their old overlords. For you are free now, and as such, you stand free to just walk away from it all, and that is the best advice we can give you today. So focus again on what is to come, not on what has been, and do not waste any time looking about for those old scoundrels. They are still present here and there, but their pockets of foul air are rapidly thinning out, and as such, they will very soon have no option but to pack up and leave for good. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com